So I've recorded. Okay.
Okay.
So tell me, Stacy, what issue did you have going on that you wanted to do biofield tuning for?
So there were two main reasons I wanted to schedule a session. So the first one was your combination of human design, particularly your expertise on the five projection field. That was very unique. I had just learned about it, and it made a lot of sense to me why I needed more clarity there. It was causing a lot of confusion. So immediately I was like, oh, somebody that can do that and do some, energy healing that also sounds exactly what I need. Like that was really exciting. And then the biofield tuning part really interested me because I I was in this confused state, like this kind of like a ball of yarn, or I was trying to make forward progress, but I kept getting pulled back, and I was getting myself caught up. I've done a lot of work on myself. I've gone through a lot of growth and transformation, but I still wasn't seeing results. So your work really resonated with me about, oh, that I haven't necessarily worked on my biofield from that perspective. So I was very intrigued.
So what did you notice during the session?
So during the session, the biggest thing I noticed was when you worked on my feet, I felt this unwinding, and it's really profound, and I'm smiling because when you asked in the intake anything I should know about, and you mentioned something, or something on the form was about feet, and I never would have said anything unless I saw it there. But for months, probably years, I had been waking up and my feet were so like cranky was the word. I'd have to roll them out immediately on one of those balls, and it just felt like I always wanted a foot massage and cranky. And so in the session, when you tuned my feet, it was like, oh my gosh, I get it now. It was all this bound up energy, and how you explained to me what the feet meant. And it was just so resonant. And even now, I mean, I don't feel that in the morning. I don't notice it. My feet feel free. Like it's hard to explain, but it's such a significant difference that it's almost hard to believe.
And that was like, in other words, it sounds like during the session, the things that I said just had you look at that whole experience a different way, and then it didn't happen anymore.
Yeah, and also it felt something shift. Like I felt the energy unwind and like dissipate. I felt that. And then there were also two things I remember just from like a not a physical experience, but like an experiential way. Um, there was the I'm blanking, the heart and throat connection. I know in my human design chart, there's a lot of stuff there. And you did something, and I remember you said it was like it wasn't shifting, and then you finally felt it, and it felt like a crack in a big dam, and like water was finally dripping out. And that also really resonated with me, and I did really feel that flow. And then after the session, I really noticed the impact, like in my life, of just being able to clearly speak and passionately speak, and not being so caught up or restricted. And it was pretty amazing. It was very different than anything I had ever experienced. Um, and then the other piece was when you were working on the Sun Star, which was sort of new to me. I'd like heard of that in different ways, but it was I've also had a struggle like connecting to like my higher self and guidance and clearly hearing. And I remember you were like, oh, it doesn't want to stretch, it's resisting. And I felt that. I actually felt it like in my brain, the sensation of like that energy moving, and it was pretty wild. And I noticed some subtle shifts from that afterwards, but it's very interesting to me because it worked in a way. I mean, I've done a lot of healing. Like that's my jam. I love doing that. I love meeting healers. I love working on myself and learning. So I've done a lot, and like this was just so unique and powerful, like in one of my favorites, I think, that I've ever done.
So it sounds like there were mental and emotional, spiritual aspects, and there were physical aspects,
Hmm.
energy field aspects all together.
Yes, yes. it really affected me on every level. And I felt it on different levels too, if that makes sense.
It's lovely to work with someone who is conscious of those things because most people don't notice, right?
Right. I'm hyper aware too. And that's usually my downfall. So it's cool when I can be like, oh, wow, I noticed this and then that and that. And it's like a good.
And I love that. So, how has this all impacted your life?
So it's been really great. I mean, I think I'm trying to find the right words, like it's cleared way or opened up space for opportunity. I want to look at the timing of the session because specifically, yeah, it is interesting timing because the time that I saw you, yeah, I was in the middle of trying to figure out uh, what's next in terms of my career, and I had a few different paths, and I wasn't sure, and I was trying to follow the signs and follow my human design strategy, um, and it was an intense period, and I think because I was clearer, I was able to kind of tap into what felt right and like say yes and no to those right things. And so it was very interesting when I reflect back what unfolded and where I am now, because it was almost like it's the exact right thing I needed, and I probably would have been blinded to it if I didn't have the space to do that. So not only that, I also met this other healer practitioner who's literally up the street from me that I've driven by like my entire life, and it has helped me in such a profound way. Like it's completely differently, but it was exactly the right next person for me to meet. So I don't believe in coincidences, and I just think that it was great that it opened me up and allowed me to do that. I would be really sad if I missed both of these opportunities.
So, what changed?
So uh so um like I'm trying to find a short way of saying it. So as far as like my work, I was deciding between working for somebody or exclusively focusing on my own business. And I actually landed in a situation where I get to do both. And they benefit each other. So I'm working for somebody who has a program for people in the type of work that I do that I'm getting to take for free. And I can take my skills as marketing and help her in her business. And so help, her and her business grow as I learn from her and work on building my own business on my own pace. And it's comical, to be honest. Like it's exactly what I needed. And I would never have found this um, if I wasn't pushed to apply for a job to work for someone else, even though I didn't want to. And I saw this particular job and I didn't apply to it because I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be her. But it was through this hiring agency. And what I had applied to, they were like, oh, I think you're a good fit for this role. And they sent me to her. And so she reached out to me without me applying. We met, and I was like, oh, yes, you are exactly who I need. So it's really comical. And it's amazing to me what you can block yourself from, but also be open to if you are like in the right alignment.
So, it sounds like you feel like doing biofield tuning helped you be open enough to be able to get yourself to where you are now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was spinning. Clouded by crap in my field and things not flowing properly. So that really, it's so subtle. And I think if people aren't like me and can't feel it, because I know there's some healing modalities where you feel it and notice a difference. And with the energy field, it's not everybody has that ability. So even if you can't feel it, it doesn't mean it's not working. It's profound. It really is.
So, what would you recommend to other people?
Oh, to absolutely do it. I think it's such a unique experience. And the human design layer too. So I've been learning about my own human design for years now. So I came in with a lot of foundation, but I still think what you shared and how you incorporated it like in the tuning of my field was really cool, like really awesome. So I think everyone needs to know their human design too, but having that like tuned in your field is so, so cool. I mean, human design is so life changing to be seen and understood in that way. And then when your energy can align to that, like versus just your brain understanding your design, that I mean, that's really where the magic is. It actually makes a lot of sense. Human design probably always should be paired with some type of like biofield tuning. So I highly recommend this for everybody, really.
I tend to agree, but then I do them together.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say to people about your experience?
I really loved working with you. I mean, I hope you can train other people, whether it's like human design people to do biofield tuning or the opposite. I think it's a really cool,
Yeah.
cool combination. And it's worth experiencing. Like, you know, you can, and actually I'd also say, because I'm a very visual person too, and I happen to have seen videos around the time of our session or afterwards. I wasn't seeking them out, but the universe probably knew I needed some visual of how tuning forks work, like over a thing of sand or salt, and it's amazing. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's what's like that makes so much sense. So if people are hesitant, I'd say look at that video or any video of how it works with sand and be like, that's what's happening in your cells, and who doesn't want alignment? Like if you've ever been to a chiropractor, everybody feels amazing after. So your energy field also needs the alignment too. I want to learn how to do it myself.
Thank you, Stacy. That was delightful.
You're welcome.
And I'm so glad it made a difference in your life.
It did. And honestly, I want more. It's just timing. And also, I'm really going against my nature and trying to slow down and not do all the things, even though like I want to. Like it's really hard, but it doesn't feel like I should right now. So it's a very interesting thing, me trying to do me a little differently.
Timing,
Yeah,
timing,
that's the biggest thing for me to
human
learn.
design timing.
Yeah,
Well, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I really
you're
enjoyed it.
welcome.
And you'll just have to keep me updated with how things go, because it sounds like you're in a really creative, wonderful place.
Yeah, I am. How are things going with you?
I am starting a subscription program
Oh, tell me more.
where I am talking about educational topics
Okay.
and biofield tuning in weekly sessions.
So individual biofield sessions?
Group.
Oh, what is that like? I'm intrigued by that.
So,
Of course I am. I mean,
so I have started, this is all on Facebook. So I have a group, a private group, where every week on Thursdays, I have a short educational section. And then on Friday at 1 o'clock, I have the group session for subscribers. So this week, the topic is fitness and exercise. Next week's going to be about food. The time after that, it's going to be about immune system, then water. And then I'm just going to have all these different topics that I educate about and then do biofield tuning around.
so how do you do tuning around those topics? Like, is it a tuning session specifically around like water, or theirs are not connected?
So when I do biofield tuning, the energy changes in the field,
Mm-hmm.
totally context dependent.
Huh.
So it's like when you go in with that's why I ask you what's your intention, right? What do you want to work on?
Ah,
What I meet in the field is going to be totally different based on what we're working on.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Are you doing you mentioned there was blanking a projection field, a line 5 group
That
thing?
just ended.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Well, let me know or put me on a list if it ever happens again. I would love to.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, yeah. If you go to my personal page,
Mhm.
I've got, say, hey, come over to the Thrive with Sandra Lee group page.
Mm.
And that's where the free
Okay.
Thursday sessions are.
Okay.
And then that's where information is and will be more about the subscription thing.
Cool. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Cool. All right, good
Thank
luck.
you.
All right.
And have fun with your, what you're doing. It sounds great.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying to take the pressure off and just enjoy the experience, which is new for me. So,
Lessons all the way.
yes. All right. Well, it was great seeing you
All
again.
right. Bye.
Bye.